Good morning to all of our viewers and friends. We shall begin the today's class on YouTube for civil service aspirants and others. In this class, we shall touch on another important aspect, chapter of Indian Constitution, Dpsp, fundamental duties. We will also have some questions related to fundamental rights, previous one which were left. In the last exam we have seen that there were many questions on polity and they were very good questions. Our classroom students have done well in polity part. So usually most of the questions are from our classroom exam tests and notes if you will examine it. Okay. So in this class we will touch on this chapter, and today I have brought some fundamental questions, also concept questions, that to clear the new ones who are watching and starting preparation on for civil service. It will also be helpful, so I thought to add concept questions, very easy for those who have covered the course, but it's necessary for those who are going to start their preparation, those who are watching. Okay, so Dpsp and fundamental, we have already introduced fundamental rights. I have told you that they are lifelines in a democracy and they are very vital aspects of Indian Constitution. They are enforceable, they are basic rights, and they are essential for all-round growth of individuals. They promote social political democracy and they promote limited government. On the other hand, directive principle of state policy found mentioned in part IV of the Constitution are also as important as fundamental rights. In Minerva Mills case versus Union of India 1980, the Supreme Court declared that both fundamental rights and Dpsp are essential for constitutionalism, and striking a good balance between them is a basic feature, basic part of basic structure of the Constitution. So there had been the importance to Dpsp has been given by Supreme Court in various cases later. So what constitutes Dpsp? Directives, principle of state policy are in the form of instruction to the state to carry out different programs and different laws in order to achieve the welfare state, and welfare state focus on the empowerment of backward classes and also other weaker sections. The ultimate objective of Dpsp is to promote social and economic democracy. So political democracy provided by fundamental rights is meaningless without social and economic democracy. Therefore, Dpsp and fundamental rights are called two sides of a coin. One is valueless, worthless without the other. So people should have political, social and economic democracy. But Dpsp are separated from fundamental rights only on the premise that the latter or the Dpsp are not enforceable, whereas fundamental rights are enforceable. But that does not mean that Dpsp are subordinate to fundamental rights. Rather, they are two sides of a coin, but Dpsp have been made non-enforceable because of scarcity of resources, because it provides economic rights, and for realization of economic rights and others you need resources. So the country was not prosperous, developed at the time of commencement of the Constitution. Hence Dpsp were made non-justiciable because of resource crunch. But in Article 37 it is mentioned that Dpsp are fundamental in the governance of the country, and no state can ignore these principles while devising policies and programs for the welfare of the people or for the development of the country. So since then Dpsps have been taken or given wider importance, and there are different principles are there: socialist principle, Gandhian principles, and liberal principle. They are divided on the basis of their content. These principles enhance living ability of the people. So there are different types. Kindly go through the chapter and get some wholesome idea about this chapter, and you will see also that most of the principles mentioned in the constitution have been put into practice by different laws and policies enunciated by the government. That is the things. Okay, so these are the major things, and the legal force, legal sanction behind Dpsp are not explicitly there, but implicitly it is there. No state can ignore, no state can overlook the importance of Dpsps. No government can ignore these because they are quite essential for the welfare of the people. Okay, and other things like the fundamental duties you have added in this chapter. Fundamental duties are also an essential part of the constitution. They are not enforceable, but they remind the citizens about their duties towards the nation, towards the environment, towards the heritage. So there are different types of duties: environmental duties, educational duties, civic duties, moral duties. Number of duties are there. They are not inessential but rather very essential, because to sharpen the duties or to civilize the citizens and to aware them about their constitutional duties. So duties have been constitutionally recognized, that will create a great importance of theirs in the minds of people. Therefore they have been given constitutional status. They were not found in original constitution. They were added by 42nd Amendment Act 1976 under Part IBA, Article 51A. Originally there were 10 fundamental duties, but by 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002, 11th fundamental duty was added for parents and guardians for educational development of the children. So these duties are quite meaningful, and they have a great bearing upon the great impact on the development of the country, on the development of a prosperous and educated citizenry. So they are together essential. Fundamental rights, Dpsp and fundamental duties contribute largely towards the realization of the objectives of the Constitution. Therefore they are the philosophy of the Constitution. The sovereignty, secular, the sovereignty, socialist, secular, democratic, republic character, and fraternity and integrity of the Constitution are protected by these three major provisions. So they are quite inseparable and inalienable from each other. None is less important than the other. That is, apart from being that theoretically they are not enforceable, but their fundamental duties are enforced to different laws made by Parliament. There have been National Honor Act, there has been various rules, citizenship codes, and there have been environmental laws for the enforcement of environmental duties. So indirectly they are enforceable or enforced by law made by Parliament. Okay, so learn the duties properly and also examine what are exactly the duties are provided and why they are important. Okay, now we'll come to the questions. There are very simple questions today, and also some previous rounds added, few of them added. So because in order to make the learners, new learners or the starters, beginners comfortable with the course, I have brought some simple questions also in this part. Not all of them are previous ones, but Simple questions also cause a lot of issues. If you have seen yesterday's GS paper 1 question, you will see that there are very simple questions but still confusing. One answer question. So that is the things. Preliminary paper GS paper 2, paper 1. You will see. So let's start first. Look at the question, this year's question also. Collect the questions and study the pattern. It will be very useful for you, and you will see and will be happy to know that the paper 1 polity questions were very comfortable questions. Students reported to have done well, and they have been feeling quite good at polity questions. There are very simple questions but still confusing. Those who are not prepared, they will face a lot of issues. There are very easy questions. Okay, so please go through the questions at your point. Examine also the nature of questions. Okay, about Lok Sabha, about others, about ethics committee was a questions, union budget there was a questions, in governor's office there was a questions, and there was a questions also statement based questions. And bills. Okay, so we'll start the session. Which of the following is incorrect? Backward classes, Dpsp most objective, most important aim is to empower the backward classes. Therefore, I've given some points, one question on backward classes. The other backward classes are not mentioned in the constitution. No, they are not directly mentioned. They are mentioned as socially educational backward classes. That is correct. The first backward class commission recommended for 27%. Oh, that is not correct, incorrect. The questions will be wrong. They are not mentioned directly in the constitution. Yes, they are mentioned as socially. Yes. And backward class commission, the first backward class commission, no. The second backward class commission, Mandal commission, BP Mandal commission, BP Mandal commission 7980 recommended for 27%. It was the second backward class commission. The first backward class commission was appointed in 1953. Kaka Kallekar was the chairman. It studied the socio-economic conditions of other backward classes and reported a lot of recommendations, made a lot of recommendations for empowerment of the weaker section. So it was appointed in 1953 and reported in 19. So the first backward class commission is Kaka Kallekar Commission. Kaka Kallekar Commission 1953. It made a lot of recommendations for the empowerment of the other backward classes, identified major issues related to backward classes. So this is not the correct answer. Option wrong. Creamy layers provision in OBC reservation was recommended by Ramnandan Committee. Ramnandan Committee was appointed in 1993. It recommended for exclusion of creamy layer from the purview of reservation. So that is not superior. So we have two statements wrong and two statements correct. Let us see the options if available or not. Okay, two statements are incorrect, two statements are correct. Let us see. Okay, option C is correct, 1 and 2 only. correct option. C. Got it? This is the correct option, C. That means 1 is correct, not directly mentioned. They are mentioned as CBC, that is correct, but another is not correct. Next, so in which year Protection of Civil Rights Act came into effect? 1976. Remember, Protection of Civil Rights Act is mandated or is enacted under the mandate of Article 17, Prevention of Untouchability, and Prevention of Untouchability Prevention Act, Untouchability Prevention Act was enacted by 1955, was enacted by Parliament. Later it was renamed as Protection of Civil Rights Act in 1976. So that will be C also. Okay, Protection of Civil Rights Act. Right to Education Act came into it, is established to achieve the mandate provided under Article 21A. Article 21A, and it came into effect in 2010 April past. D. Right to Education Act was enacted by Parliament 2009, and it came into effect in 2010. It is established under Article 21A, which was added by 86 Constitutional Amendment Act 2002 in Part 3 of the Constitution. There has been a substantial amendment in the Constitution to provide free and compulsory education to children up to 14 years, from 6 to 14 years of age. That was a revolutionary step taken by the Parliament with regards to the realization of, or the empowerment of, educational empowerment of the people. Providing free education, compulsory education up to 6 to 14, and it was right to free and compulsory education for children between 6 to 14. It did not contain right to higher education. Next we will come to question number 4. Consider the following statements. There is no specific or express provisions in the Constitution that authorizes the executive to declare martial law. No. There is no express and specific provision. It is implicit in Article 34, under which martial law can be declared in any area within the territory of India. Yes. And 34 contains Article 34 contains that during martial law, that is military, during martial law, fundamental rights of the citizens, can be restricted, and it gives unbridled authority to the public servants during martial law, during the operation of martial law. It indemnifies the public servant for any act done by them, they would be not be punishable, they would be indemnified. That is Article 34. Okay, so it is implicit, it is correct. It is implicit, not explicit. That means okay, so there is no specific provision, that is also correct. So answer will be both 1 and 2. Both 1 and 2, yes. C. Question number 5. Preventive detention is not mentioned in the Constitution. The maximum detention period. Preventive detention it's not explained but defined in the Constitution. But if you look at Article 22, it is mentioned in the Constitution. The question is mentioned. Statement says that it is not mentioned. It is mentioned in the Constitution. Under Article 22, Clause 3, that provides that the rights provided to a person who is arrested or detained are not available to any person who is arrested, detained under any law providing preventive detention. So I think it is mentioned. It's mentioned. The maximum detention period under a preventive detention is 3 months. So that is clause 4, 22 clause 4, Article 22 clause 4. President is the sole authority to prescribe maximum period of detention. No, that is will be enacted by Parliament. So all of them are not correct. Answer will be D. All of them are not correct. Answer will be D. Okay, question number 5, answer D. 6, maybe it is repeated, but it's very important questions, therefore I have kept it. Bharat Ratna and Padma awards are not titles under Article 18. Yes, they are not titles. Article 18 only abolishes hereditary nobility. Yes. Article 18 to prohibit citizens from receiving from any foreign state but not honors and awards. That may be Bharat Ratna can be conferred upon maximum 5 persons, no 3 persons. So that is correct. That is not correct. Not under titles. Yes. 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 So 1, 2, 3 seems to be correct. Yes. B. 5 persons. No, there is 3 persons. So B. Separation of judiciary from the executive is a subject matter of Dpsp in Article 50. Article 50 contains separation of judiciary from the executive. It also secures independence of the executive. Article 50 in Dpsp in liberal principle. It is a liberal principle. Next. So it will be C. 6 number C. 7, 8. 7 number C. 8. Study the following options and state which one of the following is correct, not correct. Dpsp of state police are mentioned instrument of instructions in the Constitution. No, they are not mentioned as instrument of instructions. There is no mention. They were mentioned as instrument of instruction in Government of India Act 1935. Yes. L.M. Singhvi describes these principles are life-giving provisions of the Constitution. Yes, these principles are promoting social and economic democracy. Yes, so that will be incorrect. Incorrect is, that will be incorrect. Option A. So that means option A is the answer. Not correct. Okay. Now we come to question number 9. Consider the following statements with reference to the Constitution of India. The directive principle of state policy constitutes limitation upon executive and legislative functions. Yes, both. The state includes Article 36 deals with the definition of state, and the state includes both legislature and executive. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Which of the following are correct projects? Which part of the Indian Constitution deals with Dpsp of state police? Very easy questions. Okay, part 3, part 4. Part 4, D. Okay, come to question number 11. Which Dpsp bears the direct impact of Gandhi's moral philosophy? Equal pay for equal work is a liberal socialist principles. 39D, article 39D contains equal pay for equal work. 39D provisions for that is your provisions for uniform civil code, that is provided under article that is provided under article 44. So I think it is not there. Then prohibition of slaughter of cows, that is Gandhian principles under article 48. Monuments is 49, so it is a liberal principles, and it's a socialist principles. It is also a liberal principles. It is only Gandhian principles. C. Next question will come to articles. The articles of the Constitution of India which deal with Dpsps is 36 to 51. Answer C. 36 to 51 contains C. Equal pay for equal work has been ensured in the Indian Constitution as one of the B. Dpsp, I told you, it is under 39D, the socialist principles. For this purpose, Equal Remuneration Act 1976 has been enacted by Parliament. Which one of the following is not included in the Dpsp? Prohibition of liquor, right to work, equal wage, right to information. Right to information is not there. Right to information is found in Indian Constitution directly on 21 and 19. It began as a statutory right. So D. The Dpsps of state policy are non-justiciable under Article 37. They are fundamental in the governance of the country, but they are non-justiciable. Which article deals with organization of village panchayat, that is the Gandhian principles, and it is found mentioned under Article 40. Article 40 answer will be B. B is the answer. Question number 16, answer B. Next we will come to question number 17. Which of the following articles contains the provisions for uniform civil code? That is D. So D will be there. But uniform civil code means the civil laws will be equal across the country related to marriage, divorce, land, adoption, all these cases, but there is no uniform civil code in India, although there is a uniform criminal code. So D. Next is which of the following is not a Dpsp? Not a Dpsp. Which of the following is not a Dpsp? To raise the level of nutrition is a Dpsp. To develop scientific temper is not a Dpsp because it is found in the to raise the, it is a socialist principle, raise the level of nutrition. 47, it is a duty to promote economic interest of the weaker section. Socio-economic interest, and the separate judiciary from the executive. Yes, so that will be best answer is B. B is the answer. It is a duty, it's not a principles. Which articles deals to protect all monuments of historic interest and national importance? To protect all monuments of historic interest and national importance. Article 49, it is a liberal principles. Who describes Dpsp as noble feature of the Constitution? B.R. Ambedkar. Okay. That is D. Novel features of the Indian Constitution described by Ambedkar. 21. By which Amendment Act the fundamental duties of citizens are included in Indian Constitution? Fundamental duties by 42nd Amendment Act 1976 during Indira Gandhi regime. So that is A. Okay. A. 44 is about the abolition of right to property, and lot of changes. Both amendments are quite vital for Indian Constitution. By 61st Amendment Act, that is been given, is added, that is increased the voting age, decreased the voting age from 21 to 18. It is a historic amendment. And 73rd is Panchayat Raj. 22 is answer. 21 answer A. 22, each of the following state committees recommended inclusion of fundamental duty in the constitutions. In 1975, aftermath of the national emergency, the Indira Gandhi government appointed a committee under the chairmanship of Sardar Soran Singh to recommend certain duties for the citizens of India. Accordingly, Sardar Soran Singh recommended 8 fundamental duties for the citizens. The government accepted some of them, and on the basis of the recommendation of Soran Singh committee, the government Parliament enacted 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act and added a separate part for fundamental duties. It is under Article IBA in addition to the Dpsp. So this is also a non-justiciable part of the Constitution. So that's Soren Singh Committee. And that Soren Singh Committee has also recommended for administrative tribunals. B. Sarkaria Commission is the first center-state relation commission, and it has tremendous impact on today's political system, especially the center-state relation area. RS Sarkaria Committee had made valuable contributions and had made several useful recommendations, and a substantial number of recommendations have been put into practice. So it is a very important commission for study in civil service. John Mathai Committee recommended for Estimate Committee, and Balwant Rai Mehta Committee is the first committee on Panchayat Raj who had recommended 3-tier Panchayat Raj system. So that will be B. So that's Soren Singh Committee. Okay. 11 fundamental duties has been added to Part IBA by which of the following amendments? 42nd we have already discussed. 42nd Amendment Act, that is 1976, and 86th Amendment Act 2002, 91st Amendment Act 2003, 96th Amendment Act 2011. 86th Amendment Act is related to right to education. 91st is amendment to size of Council of Ministers at the center and states. 96th amendment is Oriya became Odia. So these are very important amendments for our study. So that will be A. Question number 24. Which of the following is a fundamental duty in India? Separation of judiciary from executive is a principles to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. It is a duty. Free and compulsory education for children is a right, fundamental right. Promotion of cooperative society is also a principle. So only B will be there. Which one of the following was the first constitutional case to deal with conflicts between fundamental rights and Dpsp? It was in Duraiarajan case 1951. Champakam Duraiarajan case was the first case on the conflict between the fundamental rights and Dpsp, and that is popularly known as Champakam Duraiarajan case. And in this case, the Supreme Court held that fundamental rights are superior to Dpsp. There it is in this case the fundamental rights can be amended by Supreme Court koile, kintu that can be that's superior to Dpsp, and no Dpsp can be implemented violating fundamental rights. That is 1951 fundamental rights case 1951. Okay, now come to And there have been other cases also, Golapnath case, Keswananda Bharati case, Minerva Mill case also related to the conflicts. In Golapnath case, fundamental rights were given very ideal status and they were held to be immutable, transcendental and cannot be amended or violated even while implementing Dpsps. In Keswananda Bharati case, both were held significant and they also made exceptions to fundamental rights. It upheld the 24th Constitutional Amendment Act, 25th Constitutional Amendment Act and 31C, which purports to implement Article 39B and C while violating Article 14 and 19 was upheld by the Supreme Court. So Dpsps were given somewhat equal legal status with fundamental rights in certain cases. And in Minerva Mill case, the conflict was settled down for good and it held that the fundamental rights and Dpsps both are vital as the other. They are like two sides of a coin, and striking a good balance between fundamental rights and Dpsps is a part of basic structure of the Constitution. So here we will have answer on the Durarajan case. A. 1951, it is 1967, it is 1973, it is 1980. 25. Which of the following articles deals with promotion of international peace and security? It is 51. Article 51 C. There are four aspects of international peace and promotion of international security: settlement of you promote a friendly relation with foreign country, foster settlement of international disputes through arbitrations. Four aspects for entering it. 51 deals with the foreign policy of the country. The promotion of cooperative society found Article 43B was added to the Constitution by 97 Constitutional Amendment Act 2011. D. Other amendments we have already discussed in detail frequently. 28. The fundamental duties are mentioned in the following parts of the Constitution of India. Part IBA. It is added by 42nd Amendment Act and it contains a single article, that is Article 51A. C. Which of the following is incorrect? Fundamental duties are not part of the fundamental rights. No. Fundamental duties are a part of fundamental rights. No. Option A is yes. Fundamental duties are not a part of fundamental rights. That's correct. Fundamental duties are enumerated in Part IB of the Constitution. Article 51A contains duties of every citizen of India. Yes. So that will be B will be answer. Incorrect. That is are a part. No, they are not part. They are mentioned in different parts. 30. Under the Constitution of India, which one of the following is not a fundamental duty? To vote in public elections. A. That is not a duty at all. To develop the scientific temper, safeguard public property, abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals. A. Which of the following is correct? Dpsps are justiciable in nature. The provision for Dpsps is derived from the Russian Constitution, no. Irish Constitutions. So first option is incorrect, not justiciable. Second option is incorrect. They are derived from Irish Constitution. Equal pay for equal work is a fundamental right. That is also incorrect because it is a Dpsp. Dpsp promotes socio-economic democracy. That is correct. So option is D. Option will be D. Which of the following are among the fundamental duties of the citizens laid down in the Constitution? To preserve the rich heritage? Yes. To protect the weaker section? No such duties there. Develop scientific temper? Yes. Strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity is also a duty. So 1, 3, 4. Next option we will see. Yes, so 1, 3, 4 will be the answer. Option C. As told you, there are 11 duties at present, and there are civic duties, environmental duties, moral duties, educational duty. Number of duties are there, and enforcement of the same is rest upon the government. There is no direct enforcement, rather they are enforced through duties, through different laws, different enactments by the parliament. Okay. Next we will come to question number 33. Economic justice as one of the objectives of Indian Constitution has been provided in the preamble and Dpsp. Preamble mention, there is mention about economic justice. They will secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political. So there is a mention, and economic justice is provided through Dpsp. So option B will be the correct answer. So option will be B. Which of the following is indicative of the difference between fundamental rights and Dpsp? Directive principles are aimed at promoting social welfare, while fundamental rights are for protecting individuals from state encroachment. That is correct one. Okay, that is the precise definition. Directive principles are aimed at promoting social welfare, but fundamental rights protect individuals from state encroachment, means state interference. That means it creates, it limits the power of the government, and therefore it promotes limited government. So option 1 is correct. Option 2, fundamental rights are limitations on state actions, which are Dpsps are positive instructions for the government to work towards a just and socio-economic order. Yes, right. Fundamental duties were added in the original constitution, but Dpsps were added by the first amendment. It's a wrong one. because both of them have been included in the original constitutions under part 3 and part 4 respectively. Fundamental rights are amendable, but Dpsp cannot be amended. That is also wrong. That is also wrong. So 1 and 2. Okay, 35. So that is not indicative. 3 and 4 of answer. That will be answer 3 and 4. C. Which of the following is not a Dpsp? Raise the level of nutrition. It is under Article 47. Develop scientific temper is a duty. Promote economic interest of the weaker section is the objective of the Dpsp. Prepare judiciary from executive. Yes, then answer will be B. 35 B. 36. Doctrine of severability advocated in the connection with the judicial review. Doctrine of severability means there is a doctrine or theory which has been developed by the Supreme Court of India while discussing the relevance of a law. It protects the law from arbitrary repealing and arbitrary cancellation. So it says that the Supreme Court can, this will be the answer, that is the Supreme Court can declare only such portion of laws void which is inconsistent with the provision of the Constitution, but the remaining parts should also be valid. They should also have some meaning or stand alone. Otherwise, they would also be rejected. If some portions of the law contravene fundamental rights, then it may be struck down. But after striking down, if the law seems to be relevant, appropriate, then it will be kept. Otherwise, it will also be rejected. So C. Which of the following duties has been added to the Constitution through 86 to 22? Six to 14, option A will be the correct option. The parents or guardians enforceable, but they can be enforced by an amendment or an act made by the Parliament. We cannot say they are not completely they're not completely enforceable. So option B. Okay, students, we have discussed some basic and some previous year questions also. So most of them were very easy ones, concept based questions. So I told you from the beginning that it is concept based questions. I have brought these questions for beginners who begin their career in civil service. They can feel comfortable while attending the questions. Okay, but remember there are tougher questions day by day. So you have to prepare accordingly and examine the provisions deeply and find out the major points into your pocket. Okay, that is all about. We shall meet in the next class with different set of questions. Hope these classes are going on well. It is a very unique initiative by Vanik, the mega institution which is has been striving for creating eligible candidates from Odisha to qualify or crack competitive examination, not only at the central but also at the state level. And our hope, our dream is being realized gradually. We are heading in this sector. Okay, hope this class has been very useful and is likely to be useful for all those who will see in it for their civil service preparation. We will carry it on, provide your constructive criticism, and also give us likes and subscribe Vanik at higher rate. Thank you very much for issuing watching us.